inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studios.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 6th day of August 2025, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, be you a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you are operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. Remember, the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a happy belated birthday, whichever is applicable. And to remind you that, For the Record, birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands. Accept no substitutes. Share a Coke with someone special. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. We're hearing news of a popular and prominent Caymanian passing away, but until we are able to confirm that, I won't mention it here on For the Record this morning until confirmation has been received. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we want to wish you a speedy recovery. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. Most of you, if not all, know that For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I'm your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, phone lines are open. Beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number 925-3261. And at possibly even 7:45 this morning, we should have the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Kenneth Bryan, and MP for Red Bay, Mr. Roy Tatum, in the studio with us. Meanwhile, let's first look at the birthday shout-outs for you. And I'm going to go back to some birthday greetings from last week, and I'm going to repeat this one. So The person wanted to send out happy birthday wishes to Clinton Ebanks, also known as Wobbly. And last week, they wished him a wonderful day and God's continued blessings. And I think they were also asking after the show if we could play The Harder They Come, The Harder They Fall for him as well. And of course, Clinton Ebanks, Wobbly, he turned 71 years of age last week and still going strong as well. So we hope and we trust that Mr. Ebanks is listening in this morning as well. We also understand, we're told that Miss Virginia Foster, she's celebrating her birthday today, and birthday greetings are coming from her friend, Miss Adina. Also, Zeus Hart, Miss Adina's grandson, is also celebrating a birthday tomorrow. And happy birthday greetings coming from, of course, Miss Adina, and also grandfather Roderick. So happy birthday, Zeus Hart, tomorrow when it comes as well. Then we see that today, Alicia Robinson Cooper, she's celebrating a birthday. Upcoming birthdays tomorrow, Miss Carmela Watson, celebrating her birthday on August the 7th. Also Anna Hurlston and Sabrina Wong, all celebrating birthdays tomorrow. We also see Earl China Smith celebrating a birthday today. I'm going to look over all of them to make sure that we don't miss anyone. Yesterday, Britta Bramick also celebrated a birthday yesterday on the 5th of August, as well as Patrice Donalds also celebrated a birthday yesterday. So we have lots of birthdays yesterday, today, and of course coming up again tomorrow. Sabrina Wong, Anna Hurlston, Carmela Watson as well. And to remind you folks that the For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola. They are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes and share a Coke with someone special. Let's look at some of the headlines in our newspapers today as well. And let's see what's on the horizon for our newspapers. Cayman Compass, Spirit Airlines add Fort Lauderdale Grand Cayman route. I guess that's for the upcoming winter season. Also, we may have a call coming in on the WhatsApp number, Miss Susan. Also, we see the gentleman who was unfortunately killed on a motorbike crash. Name, that's the Compass article. Mooring buoys awaiting repairs across the Cayman Islands. One would expect that should be given priority. We know that the drug smugglers, they don't need to know where the buoys are. They are familiar with all of that. They make sure that they familiarize themselves with all of that. But those legitimate boaters out there who are out there for recreational purposes or maybe even commercial fishers, that's important as well. So that needs to be done. Also, Cayman basketball campers learn from NBA players. I wonder who those NBA players may have been. Let me see if I can open that up before we go to our commercial break. And of course, Caymanian student to swim between islands for charity. Let's look at the baseball one and see if there are any names that appear here that may be familiar. So we see the Utah Jazz, the forward for the Utah Jazz, Kenyon Martin Jr. is involved in it as well, involved in the basketball camp. Then there are 4 American basketball coaches, including Philip Calvert, an international coach renowned for his work with the junior NBA as well. And also see, so it looks as if Kenyon Martin is the headliner as far as the NBA players are concerned. And let's see the Caymanian student who is going to swim between the islands. Let's see if we can figure out who he is. If I can open up this article as well. Sometimes it is not that easy with WhatsApp, but let's see what we can do here. Yep, we're going to have to do that as soon as we return from the commercial break, and maybe we can choose a word of the day as well, or if you can think of a word of the day that may be appropriate for us here in the Cayman Islands. I may suggest one as well. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we return, conversation will continue. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Samuel Osbert Bertie Ebanks, Certificate of Honor, JP, 1909 through 1996. Bertie Ebanks, like most of his contemporaries, started his working life as a seaman. Early in his career, he survived the sinking of the Vita Louise, on which he was an engineer. He became the Cayman Islands' first public health officer and sanitary inspector. Among his accomplishments were his insistence on sanitary disposal of household wastes and the immunization of the entire population against diphtheria and polio. With a budget of only £500, he eradicated the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which carries yellow fever, a feat that still baffles experts. Mr. Bertie served in the Assembly of Justices and Vestrymen as an elected member for West Bay from 1934 to 1942 and as a Justice of Peace from 1946 to 1959. He established the 4-H Club, the West Bay Cooperative Fishermen's Society, and the West Bay Reading Society and wrote a book, Cayman Emerges. In 1930, he organized the Bosun Bay Sunday School, which was the forerunner of the Bosun Bay Presbyterian Church. He was awarded the Queen's Certificate and Badge of Honor in 1976 in recognition of services rendered to his country.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Hey, Bobo, TD, cousin, everybody. I hear Cayman Airways celebrating their 57th anniversary by giving us the gifts about 10 of them. Because they got airfares on sale now for flights to every place they fly to next month through December. Look here, I go and book my flights now to go Galawantan this month with Cayman Airways. I'll see you directly.
Catch your seat on sale by August 11th. Other conditions apply. Book on CaymanAirways.com, our new mobile app, or call us on 949-2311. Cayman Airways, celebrating 57 years as your award-winning, uniquely Caymanian airline.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
This summer, happiness is better when you share it. Coca-Cola invites you to share a Coke with someone special. Grab an ice-cold Coke and find a name. Maybe theirs, maybe yours, maybe a surprise. Because nothing says you matter like sharing a smile and a Coke. So who will you share a Coke with today? Find your name, find your friends, and share a Coke. Available now. Stores island-wide.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have a caller, but I also have a birthday shout out that I want to share before we go to that caller. We have been advised that Mr. Charlie Bush, he will celebrate his 101st birthday tomorrow on the 7th of August, and they want to wish him a happy birthday in advance, coming from his entire family. So Mr. Charles Bush celebrating his 101st birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday. Those are very, very good innings to have. 103 101, sorry. Thank you, Ms. Susan. 101 innings. Really, really amazing. God bless. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Not too bad. I just called to correct while I was talking to you yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I was entering into the farmer's market, and as I was entering in, there was a van parked in there, actually taking up all 2 parking space, left and right, and door open. So I saw the individual as if they were walking towards the van, so I just, giving the person time to go and move. Plus, they shouldn't have taken up 2 lines. And I didn't realize then there was another car behind me, and that car was out in the road, and I tried to scoot up a bit, and then that car passed me. And this individual, she coming towards my car, running her mouth, and I just hold my hand up on my steering wheel. My window is still up, my door closed, and like I'm saying, lady, don't even think about it. That's what I'm saying up in the car. Don't even think about it. What she was coming to my car for, I don't have a clue.
Which one? This was the one that in the van, or the one behind you?
The one in the van.
Okay.
The one in the van that they got all 2 left and right exactly taken up, in her door wide open. Is a construction van. Wanted me to squeeze across her. And I tell her, no. I want my right away to the right way. I'm not going to squeeze across you to please you. When she looked as if she was leaving, but then I don't know what she was doing. But I didn't know how to see the audacity of her going to try to make me force myself in there when she practically got all 2 lines, left and right, and her van door is open. And I heard when she walked up to my car door, and they're mumbling and carrying on, and said something about, I taxi too. And I'm like, who cares if you taxi too? My windows are still up, my door is closed. So I didn't have the radio. I turned the radio down. And she's out there, talking, and I'm like, I don't know who this lady is. Why don't she just move herself so I can come off the road completely? And at least the one that was behind me, they scooted across and went around the other back of the entrance of the farmer's market. But this is what we have to put up with on this island: ignorance and people not respecting each other in any capacity. Parking lots, goes to stores, or wherever we may go. She's telling me how to drive. Who is she to tell me how to drive? But so that's why I was telling you that I had to get off the phone, because I was coming up in my car and all that kind of garbage. But I wouldn't say no more about that. 2 other little things about it in regard. But you know what? You say you want a word for the day? Be kind.
Okay.
Yeah, use that word today, to be kind.
Kindness.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Okay.
We'll catch up.
Thank you very much.
Good.
Okay. So we heard one word of the day, kind, and one of our faithful listeners said their word today is blessed. Blessed. And for those of you who may not know what blessed means, and we are so blessed to be here in the Cayman Islands, or blessed to be alive as well. So blessed means made holy or consecrated. So that is a good word for the day. Blessed. Another word for today, this is one that is chosen for today's date. Largesse, Largesse, largesse. What does it mean? It means it's a somewhat formal word that refers to the act of giving away money, or the generosity of a person who gives away money. It can also refer to the money that is given away. So here are some examples in terms of the use of the word largesse. The community has benefited greatly from the largesse of its wealthiest family. Another one, the local business owner is a philanthropist known for his largesse. as well. So that's a word for the day. Blessed, largest, and kindness. Be kind, which is two words actually, so we'll break it down to kindness. Kindness as well. We have two callers. We have a WhatsApp caller. We're going to grab the WhatsApp caller. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, good morning, Mr. O'Connor.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Okay. I would like to wish my baby sister, Hedy Lydia Orrett, a happy birthday today.
Okay.
And anyone that knows her and sees her today, I ask them to give her a hug if you can. Wish her a happy birthday. Because I'm in the UK now, so I'm not able to do that. But today is her birthday, and I wish her a happy birthday, Mr. O'Connor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you said her first name is Hedy?
Yes, Hedy. Hettie.
Hedy Lydia Orrett, celebrating her birthday today. And birthday greetings are coming from her brother, Mr. Keith Orrett, who is at the moment in the United Kingdom. Last caller, we have about less than 3 minutes to go. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C. Connor.
Hey, morning. What's up?
I'm good. I had to call in on your morning show yesterday. Stuart Wilson was on there.
Mm-hmm. I listened.
Yeah.
I was listening.
Yeah. I had to call in and big him up, give him some kudos because he made a video that went viral talking about Cayman Cuisine and how he think that Cayman Cuisine is the number one. Basically, he kind of touched on what me and you discussed some time back, a couple of shows back, where I was calling for that we need to put more value on things Caymanian. And that was exactly what he was doing, putting value on our Cayman cuisine, comparing it to food that he sort of grew up with his grandmother, Miss Wilson, up there on North Song Road. He mentioned that with the curry goat and the curry chicken and the Jamaica cuisine, and he putting Cayman as number one and the Thailand as number two. So I called in, and I also mentioned that we can almost go anywhere because I had a cousin who had jerk chicken in Egypt, you know. So, but you cannot get Cayman style beef in Egypt or a good rundown with ocean turbot or Cayman.
Grouper is a good rundown. Good for a rundown too. You know,
and all of that. The one from Cox and Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I was thinking about, you remember, nowadays they do salt beef and beans. But I don't think that really Caymanian, you know. I grew up when I'm doing the stew beans with a little sweetening in it, with a lot of cornmeal dumplings.
Well, my mother used to do salt beef and beans, and this was in the in the 50s, and sometimes add a little bit of sugar as well. But the salt beef that you got in those days and the salt beef that you get now, it's hard and stringy. I remember when the salt beef used to come in those wooden barrels, either Mr. Shirley or Marin's branch store right there on the corner of Mary Street, Maryland Road. And that salt beef, you have a little bit of fat in it because that fat will give it the flavor and stuff like that. These days, I don't like the salt beef now.
Yeah, I really don't like it now. I would like to go back and have some stew beans, just a stew bean with the cornmeal dumplings with a little sugar in it, you know, with plenty of basil.
Yep. Yes.
That's Cayman style.
Yep.
Really.
Yep.
Yeah.
Making me hungry now, but I know between now the news break, I won't have enough time to get some salt beef and beans. But I love it with that little tinge of sugar in it as well. Anyway, your friend, the deputy leader of the opposition, will be on at 8:15 this morning, along with Mr. Roy Tatum as well.
call in and beat up on them a little.
Okay. Talk to you later. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time by Foster's is a minute after 8.
School starts here. Back to school equals back to busy, and Foster's has the food they need to fuel their day.
Our lunchbox legends are bursting with nutrition and support, like Taino fruit chips, organic juice boxes, protein packs, and all the fresh fruit they deserve.
It's everything you need for breakfast on the run, getting recess ready, and the after-school heroes to keep the whole crew powered up.
So fuel their focus with snacks that win every time.
Check out our in-store school zones to make it easy to grab exactly what you need, or shop online at fosters.ky/go.
Foster's, where better snacks fuel stronger days.
Radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The power company says it has reached an agreement with Utility Regulation and Competition Office to, quote, address the urgent need for additional generating capacity requirements for Grand Cayman. Back in April, ERCO said it would be issuing a request for proposals for 90 megawatts of thermal generation capacity after making its decision on Caribbean Utility Company's 2024 Certificate of Need. But now the power company says both sides have agreed to the submission of a new Certificate of Need by CUC next month that will, quote, define the generation resource requirements necessary to support Grand Cayman's projected energy demands from 2027 onward. Both parties have reportedly acknowledged that hybrid solar photovoltaic systems integrated with battery storage may qualify as firm capacity, which was an area of contention in the April final determination by ERCO. ERCO reportedly issued a dispatchable photovoltaic request for proposals in July, an initiative described as, quote, representing an important step in expanding distributed renewable energy capacity. You've got a chance to help the country better prep for a disaster as government issues a new survey.
The 2025 National Hazard Preparedness Survey is for us to collect data to understand what the public's knowledge is on hazards like hurricanes, earthquakes, and tsunamis. It really helps us get an understanding of the needs of our community. And the data will also obviously help us design and target our messaging, as well as our training and, of course, our programs.
Hazard Management Director Danny Coleman tells Radio Cayman your experiences, opinions, and concerns provide valuable insight into what's working, what challenges still exist, and where more support is needed. This will help ensure that disaster readiness efforts reflect the, quote, real needs of the people they're meant to serve. The survey takes about 10 minutes, and all responses are anonymous. To take that survey, you can head to publicconsultation.gov.ky. And Cayman Islands credit union members and staff joined forces at Malportis Pond over the weekend to plant 50 native trees as part of the organization's Road to 50 celebrations. Credit union member Darely Seabanks was one of the many volunteers on the day.
It is so beautiful to see how many people have come out here to actually support this initiative and to support the regrowth of Cayman and our natural habitats. So I am just honored, and I'm so glad that Credit Union put this together. Everybody's putting in their hard work, and we're going to see it in another few years when these things start to thrive. I'm just so grateful.
Audio there courtesy of the Credit Union. The organization says each tree was chosen for its fruit or seed-bearing qualities to support Cayman's native bird life and help preserve the natural environment. The tree planting was in partnership with the National Trust. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC World News, I'm Tom Dewsbury. President Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff's held talks with President Putin in Moscow ahead of a crucial deadline. Mr. Trump wants Moscow to agree to a truce in its invasion of Ukraine by Friday. Kiev says more pressures needed on the Russian economy. The highest tariffs U.S. administrations imposed on any country have come into force against Brazil. Donald Trump's linked them to what he calls the persecution of the former president Jair Bolsonaro. Brazil's current leaders said Mr. Trump's refused talks. There have been warnings about rapidly deteriorating conditions among almost 500,000 refugees in western Ethiopia. The MSF charity says aid cuts by major donors, among them the US, mean food services have been suspended in most camps. Italy's approved plans to build a bridge between Sicily and the mainland. It would be the world's longest suspension bridge. Similar plans have been approved before, but have stalled over problems with the gigantic project. 20 people are said to have been killed in Gaza after 4 trucks overturned on people seeking aid. More than 100 people are meanwhile reported to have been killed in Israeli strikes. A court in Georgia has jailed a prominent journalist for 2 years after slapping a police officer. Mzia Amaglobeli says she did it after she'd been stamped on. The case has been condemned as another attack on free Georgian media. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio. Time to take advantage of the August RAM water tank sale. Buy 2 600-gallon water tanks and get one free with 50% off shipping. Buy 2 1,000-gallon water tanks and get half off the third. Save on rising costs and help prevent erosion and flooding. RAM water tanks boast superior strength, made to withstand harsh conditions and impact resistance. Order your RAM water tank today. Call 925-3822. RAM water tanks, built to last a lifetime.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Britcade, where people come first.
Pleasant good morning. Let's see what the skies, wind and seas have in store for us today as we take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 87 degrees, relative humidity is 75%. The barometric pressure 30.10 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east at 6 knots. Overnight low temperature was 85 degrees. Synopsis indicate isolated afternoon thunder showers accompanied by light winds and slight seas are expected due to a weak pressure gradient and the influence of a weak upper level trough over the northwest Caribbean. Radar imagery show isolated showers mainly south of the Cayman area, moving towards the west. Now the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today, calling for partly cloudy skies, becoming cloudy at times, with a 40% chance of showers and some thunder. Temperatures today will be in the low 90s, with a heat index near 106 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight, with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers and temperatures falling to the low 80s tonight. Your winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Low tide will be this afternoon at 1:48, high tide again tonight at 8:42. The sun will set this evening at 6:57 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5 minutes after 6. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Saturday morning. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Hey folks, thanks for your patience. We'll be taking off very shortly. Should be wheels up in about 40 minutes. And due to a bumpy ride, snacks and beverage service has been suspended. AC is giving us some trouble. Sorry folks. And Wi-Fi is out. And so is the entertainment. Yeah, I'm sorry about the smell, folks. We are aware.
I know.
Just one more quick note. We are going to have to deplane.
Come on!
We're like the plane ride that isn't a nightmare. CG Britke. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Britke, where people come first.
Hey, Bobo, TD, cousin, everybody. I hear Cayman Airways celebrating their 57th anniversary by giving us the gifts, about 10 of them. Because they got airfares on sale now for flights to every place they fly to next month through December. Look here, I go and book my flights now to go Galawantan this month with Cayman Airways. I'll see you directly.
Catch your seat on sale by August 11th. Other conditions apply. Book on CaymanAirways.com, our new mobile app, or call us on 949-2311. Cayman Airways, celebrating 57 years as your award-winning, uniquely Caymanian airline.
School starts here. Countdown to class is on, and Foster's is your premier back-to-school destination. Whether you're shopping for glue sticks, notebooks, backpacks, or snacks, we've got the ultimate selection. And this summer, back-to-school is extra rewarding with our weekly prize drops of gift cards or backpacks stuffed with snacks and supplies. One-stop shopping, smart picks, and prices that make the grade. So check out our in-store school zones to make it easy to grab exactly what you need to fuel their mind and their day. Or shop online at fosters.ky/go. Foster's, school starts here.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's take a look at what's happening on our roads. Slow-moving traffic on Cool Road heading to Georgetown. Slight delays expected. Further up on Shamrock Road, traffic is flowing at a moderate pace. And on the Linford Pearson Highway, steady but flowing traffic. Edward Street looking pretty good, as well as coming from the West Bay four-way stop. And on the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic heading towards the Georgetown area. On the West Bay Road is steady but flowing. And as we look to Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, flowing at a moderate pace in both directions. Little steady traffic on Huldah Avenue coming off of Bobby Thompson Way. On the Estella Tibbetts Highway, traffic is moving along at a moderate pace. And as we look to Industrial Park area, traffic is moving on pretty good. And on North Sound Road, traffic steady but flowing in both directions. And that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. Remember, click it or ticket.
There's something new at Subway. Indulge your taste buds with our new barbecue pork rib sandwich tender. Smoky pork ribs smothered in sweet and tangy barbecue sauce, built just the way you like it. It's bold, rich, and seriously satisfying. But hurry, it's here for a limited time only. Order now on the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick in-store pickup, or get it delivered with Bento or Let's Eat. The all-new barbecue pork rib sandwich, only at Subway. Subway, eat fresh.
Yummy.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Morning and welcome back to For the Record. We will soon be having our guests in the studio. Meanwhile, I have some more messages to share with you as well. One of our listeners has written in and said, "Good morning. My word most often used today is thankful or grateful." They go on to say, "A good challenge for us to keep a grateful journal, and every now and then to make a list of what we are grateful for." That is an excellent, excellent suggestion. Let's accentuate the positive. There's so much that we could speak negatively about, but we should balance that with the positive as well. And, it really is the positive that keeps you going, that, really, really keeps you alive. So that is an excellent suggestion. Keep a journal. And every day you write down something that you are grateful for. This person wants to send birthday greetings and birthday wishes to Winsome Martinez, who will be celebrating her birthday tomorrow. So, Miss Winsome Martinez, celebrating your birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday when it comes as well. Let's see. I think I may still have some more words of the day also that we may want to share. On another site, we see the word opulence being a word of the day, and I must say that there are several persons in right here in Cayman who live in a world of opulence. That's Opulence. It is Middle French, 16th century Middle French. And the definition of opulence: great wealth or luxuriousness. And we see great wealth in the Cayman Islands. We see those persons wishing to live luxuriously. And as a result of that urge, that desire to live a luxurious life, they imperil and put at risk our environment. They imperil or put at risk the simple life that others want to live rather than living a life of opulence. And again, it goes to show you, how what is the word now? Unfair. How unfair life is, where in one part of the world you have people who are starving, and in another part of the world you have people living a life of opulence, wasting food, wasting resources that would just simply help to sustain, others. We as human beings, we are so selfish. We are so extremely selfish as well. But do, like one of our listeners suggested, keep a journal of some of the good things that may. I want to make sure that I use the exact words that the person say. So keep a journal, a grateful journal, and every now and then make a list of what we are grateful for. With that, we're extremely grateful to have in the studio with us this morning Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Kenneth Bryan, and Member of Parliament representing the constituents of Red Bay, Mr. Roy Tatum. Gentlemen, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Corner. It's a pleasure to be here. Good morning to Miss Susan behind there, beautiful lady. And good morning to your listening audience. It's a wonderful day to be here on the radio with you. And I'm so happy to be joined with my colleague.
Yeah, I'll join in with that. Good morning, Lucy. Good morning, Grand Cayman, Cayman Brack, Little Cayman. And yes, good morning to my fellow Cayman Bracker, Susan, behind the controls there. Good day today. Glad to be back with you, Lucy. Looking forward to it.
Good to have you. Good to have you. Well, so, what are we going to be talking about today?
Before we start talking today, I am a man of my word, Mr. Connor.
Okay.
And I promised you that I would bring you some mangoes off of my Valencia tree.
Valencia, yes. I have a Valencia tree as well. Ooh.
Yes.
Okay,
so those are your 4 And I wouldn't be mad at you if you share some with Miss Susan, no.
I will, because I have the same tree as well.
Yes.
But, the more the merrier,
yes.
I say.
It's
I would add he wouldn't be mad if he shared one with me as well.
As a good old Caymanian way, these are small things, and somebody may be watching or listening to us on the radio who is not necessarily born in the Cayman Islands, but these small, minor little things that we do is what makes us Caymanian.
Oh, yes.
You may have a mango tree, but I still got to share some with you. That's how we grew up, and we share and share alike, and that's what part of what made us. So there's my promise. I won't be mad at you if you bring me some apple bananas or plantain or anything like that. Any grown provisions.
Yep.
So I won't say that there's a other intention there why I gave you that so I can get something later. But anyway, that being said, Mr. Connor, we are here today as a part of our usual appearances. We try to make it every Wednesday as the official opposition to keep in the minds and the hearts of the good people of the Cayman Islands and the people that we represent, and not only the constituencies of the seven constituencies that the People's Progressive Movement and the official opposition represent, but every single Caymanian resident and visitor of the Cayman Islands. Our job is to be there to equalize and balance out the democratic process in this country, and accountability is important. So we're here today to talk about some things. The last time we were here, myself and the Honorable Deputy Speaker, Perlina McGaw-Lumsden, was here and we spoke about some of the allocations of responsibility, basically known as shadow ministries. Today we're going to announce all of them because we only announced myself and hers, and I think we also announced the leader. But we're going to go through them again so the whole public will be fully aware of the responsibilities of the different portfolios and which one of the members of the opposition will be shadowing that and be officially responsible for responses. Bearing in mind that the leader of opposition has sole responsibility on behalf of the opposition to respond to any one of them, but he allocates those responsibility and guidance. As you know, they say, we are a government in waiting. So particularly for the newer ones, it's almost training ground as well in preparation that when the good honourable member Roy Tatum becomes a minister, he'll be fully aware of what he needs to do. So we're going to be talking about that. Also,
one of the things I could, sorry, but that probably important to say, the leader sent his apologies because he's actually off island, hence why he's not here with us, joining with these announcements today.
Yes. Yep. So, and the other thing that we were going to talk about, and you'll probably see over the summer break, as it is in our standing orders, a number of members will not be on island taking the necessary breaks as per the standing orders, because once September starts back again, all elected MPs are supposed to be in full swing and on island to deal with parliamentary procedures and so forth. We're also going to be speaking about, unfortunately, some comments that were made by the former premier on your show. I think it was last Wednesday. And I'm not going to get into it too deep until a little later on. We'll focus on the more positive stuff. But sadly, I do believe that there was an announcement that kind of went off easily, but had some serious consequences, and it needs to be examined. The former premier suggested on your show that there is going to be a projected $60 million deficit. Now, I want to be as accurate as I possibly can in respect to what he said, but since then, a number of articles have come out in recent news medias. He suggested that all the models are showing a up to $60 million deficit. In light of what has transpired since the election, I think it's a level of irresponsibility, in my humble opinion, for him to just say that ad hocly. When you're jumping from what was in the preview of $26 million deficit to now a $60 million deficit, you can't just say that without coming with some facts and some figures and some situations as to what's going on, because what it's now causing is even more anxiety within the society. And it's interesting that announcement didn't come from the Honourable Premier or from the Honourable Minister of Finance. and just came in passing. Actually, the comment was only made as a result of talking about the Ponciana facility and the government's priorities to fixing mental health. So I want to talk about that a little bit later on, because there's some genuine concerns that we have from that. I've had an opportunity to reach out to the Honorable Her Excellency about the concerns of how just this announcement was made without context. If we have now projected even a further $34 million deficit since the last 3 months since they've been in, what is transpiring within the government? And you have to give context. But we'll talk about that a little later on. Those are the two main things, and obviously if we have time left over, we want to hear from the public because we're here to do their work. Honorable Member, is there any other thing other than those two things you might want to bring up specifically today?
I'm principally just here just to support you and to be here. I will mention at the closing the two events I'm planning on having in Red Bay this month. I mentioned them the last time, but repetition is always good.
Correct.
So, yeah.
All right, Mr. Connor, I know that we've all heard of some rather sad news this morning, and I don't think we're going to say anything until we get official word.
Yes.
But if so, our thoughts and prayers are going out to the family, and I don't think it'd be appropriate until confirmation is made. But we want to send all our love and our thoughts with the family, if so, until official announcement on behalf of the official opposition, the leader and all members, and also on behalf of Georgetown Central. Mr. Connor, let's go straight into it before we go to that ever important break. We have now officially, doing this on behalf of the Honourable Leader of Opposition, all of our positions have been allocated to the 7 members of the opposition by way of shadow ministries. Now, it's important that I put into context what the current structure is right now with the government members. So you know the Honourable Premier, he's in charge of Cabinet Office, Office of Commissioner of Police, Financial Services and Commerce. The Honourable Deputy Premier is in charge of Tourism and Trade and Development. The Honourable J. E. Banks is in charge of Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure. The Honourable Minister Anglin is in charge of Finance and Economic and Development, Education and Training. The Honourable Isaac Rankin is in charge of Social Development and Innovation, Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage. The Honourable E. Banks Wilkes is in charge of Health, Environment and Sustainability. The Honourable Michael Miles is in charge of Caymanian Employment and Immigration. And the Honourable DaCosta from Kimmenbrack is in charge of District Admin and Home Affairs. So those are the portfolios split up amongst the government, and it's natural from our side now to shadow those. And though we only have 7 members in our official opposition, we work very closely with the other member of opposition, the Honourable Christopher Saunders, to work alongside him with any of the other areas of responsibilities. But we're specifically the opposition, so 7 members. So we have to make sure that all of those portfolios are covered by one of us. And let's just start off with the Honourable Leader. Naturally, he will do most of the things that the Premier does that don't fall particularly under a ministry, but falls under the Governor. So he'll keep an eye on Cabinet Office, Office of the Commissioner, or Auditor General's Office, and then the Premier's main portfolios will be shared up amongst himself and the Honourable Roy McTaggart. So for the Leader of Opposition, he'll be official Leader of Opposition, he'll be focused on the department and sections of agriculture, planning, DVDS, facilities management, lands and survey, public lands inspectorate, the transport unit, public works, everything that the Honourable J. E. Banks will be covering. As I said before, he will also be supervising or shadowing those areas upon which don't have under official minister, Cabinet Office, the Attorney General's Office, the DG's office, and the Governor's office. Quite similar like what the Premier would do. Moving on to myself, which I know we've already said before, I will be responsible for shadowing the Ministry of Tourism and Economic. Let me see, I don't know how they managed to put this one together, but Tourism and Trade Development, which falls under the Honourable Deputy Premier right now, Mr. Gary Ruddy. And I'm also going to be shadowing the Honourable Michael Miles for Caymanian Employment and Immigration. With that in mind, I know that we have to go to a break.
Yep,
I don't want
yep.
to be cut right in the middle of it, and I'll explain to you the other areas of responsibility for the other members of the official opposition.
Okay, so folks, for those of you who are just joining us, we have in the studio this morning MP for the constituency of Red Bay, Mr. Roy Tatum, and the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Kenneth Bryan. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Hey, Bobo, TD, cousin, everybody. I hear Cayman Airways celebrating their 57th anniversary by giving us the gifts, about 10 of them. Because they got airfares on sale now for flights to every place they fly to next month through December. Look here, I going to book my flights now to go Galawatan this month with Cayman Airways. I'll see you directly.
Catch your seat on sale by August 11th. Other conditions apply. Book on CaymanAirways.com, our new mobile app, or call us on 949-2311. Cayman Airways, celebrating 57 years as your award-winning, uniquely Caymanian airline.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
It's a sizzling summer with J&M Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with J&M Money. Visit www.jnmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with J&M Money.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Message us at 925-3261 on WhatsApp today and get active with Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Kenneth Bryan, and Member of Parliament, Mr. Roy Tatum. They're talking about shadow ministry. And just to give you a definition of it. So shadow ministers are members of the official opposition party who act as a government in waiting, scrutinizing the work of their counterparts in government. The roles of shadow ministers are to develop alternative policies, hold the government to account for its actions and responses, and act as spokespeople for the opposition party in their own specific policy areas as well. So for those of you who are thinking that the opposition is planning on taking over the government or that they want to be ministers, no. It's, a parliamentary role that is well accepted and well practiced as well. Gentlemen.
Mr. Corner, thank you so much for that edification for the public in respect to what the role of a shadow minister is. but maybe I will opine further on your thought there about us wanting to take over the government. That's surely our intention. It's just a matter of time. Not trying to be facetious in any way, but we're not here to just stay in opposition. We're here to prove ourselves with our abilities and hold them accountable, and that in due time that we can present ourselves as the better option to run the country. With that being said, I want to move on now to the Honorable Roy McTaggart and his areas of responsibility, which will be, as you know, based on his background in financial services and accounting. He'll be focusing on the roles that the Honorable Premier will be taking in financial services. So he'll be shadowing him, like the Anti-Money Laundering Unit, Kenan's government offices in Asia, North America, intellectual property, and those kinds of things, anything to do with financial services. He'll also be shadowing the Minister of Finance, as he was a Minister of Finance before. We've agreed that we'll work closely with the Honourable Christopher Saunders, as he also was a Minister of Finance, so that from an accountability perspective for Parliament, that we are keeping a close eye on what the government is doing. I want to now move on to my good colleague here, who I'm quite sure I can allow him to speak for himself in the areas. You want to take that?
Wait, you have the list, so you,
okay. The Honourable Member for Red Bay will be covering education, national training and development, the public library, scholarship secretariat, Sunrise Adult Training Center, University College of the Cayman Islands, the Caribbean Examination Council of National Committee, Education Council, Public Libraries Management Committee. Now, education is obviously and always will be a top priority, and I'm really happy because I tell you one thing, that if you don't know Roy, you'll know he's a very intelligent person. So he comes from good stock. The more and more I get to know him, the more and more I go, this dude is pretty smart.
I didn't get my... I had two fantastic parents. My mom was an extraordinary woman, passed away far too soon. And my dad as well. My dad also had a fantastic singing voice, and he was extremely tall. I didn't get his height. I didn't get his great singing voice, but I certainly have his mind and my mother's mind, so thank God for that. But I just want to say that when I was asked, education was the main thing I was interested in. I had a chat with Miss Julie. She was quite happy for me to take that on. I said to her that I would lean on her, given her vast experience in this area. But it's been something I've been interested in for many years. Shortly after the election, I had conversations with I would say a number of people, but a handful of folks who have been involved with an area that I think is hugely important, which is the whole early childhood education and development area. You want kids to succeed in school when they're older, they need to start off good. So that's hugely important for us. I've heard the current Minister of Education say some good things with regards to early childhood education. It's something I think he's focused on previously. So it's an area that the education and early childhood education is something I'm extremely that I think is extremely important. And so I'm very happy that I'm being allowed to actually utilize my skills in that area. And as I said, I've had some conversation with some people already, and I'll continue those conversations. So looking forward to it.
Now, does this mean now that in debates in our parliament, that those debates will be more focused? So rather than each member of the opposition necessarily getting up and debating on a particular bill or a particular motion in relation to a particular subject area, that would really be left to the person who's shadowing, which means that you're able to focus more on your areas of responsibility rather than having to know about everything.
Yeah. Before you jump in, let me say this, that you're exactly correct, which is what the previous opposition also did. So you'd have heard Barbara talking about things to do with education. you've heard Roy McTaggart with regards to finance and so on. So that's exactly what we did last time. That's what we'll be doing. I'll let you jump in.
No, you're perfectly right, Mr. Corner. This way we can use our resources better. If every member is obligated to know everything about everything, you're going to find yourself basically having 7 leaders of opposition. And we don't want that. We want, because it does take a lot of time to research, understand the bills, formulate a position and response. And there's going to be some cases where the Honorable Premier will still speak to something regardless of the selected shadow minister. The leader will always be able to give contribution in respect to the opposition. And sometimes you'll hear that the member selected to be the shadow will come up and say, on behalf of the official opposition, this is our position. So, for example, if there's an education matter and a bill came, the honourable member will get up and say, on behalf of the official opposition, so and so. And if another member of government responds, there's always opportunity for other members there now to, because there's a debate. You may need opportunity to counteract a point or respond, but the official first position will come from the shadow minister or from the honourable leader of opposition. Speaking,
the other thing to add quickly before you leave it is that obviously this is Parliament. Every member is entitled to debate. So nothing will stop another member of the opposition from having their say if they so want it. But for efficiency, for the majority of the time, I think what the shadow minister would be putting forward would be the collective view in any of it. It wouldn't be necessarily a personal view yet, but it would be the collective view. But there may be certainly motive topics that certainly others may want to join in as well. So again, nothing stops other members of the opposition from having their say on any topic that they choose. Just for efficiency, the norm typically I think would be that on a particular topic, if it's education, then I'd be the one giving the position of the opposition, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Very, very strong point. It's important to highlight that so people are not confused that any member can still speak. So we were just going over the role for the Honourable Roy Tatum, which will be covering education services and national education training. And he'll obviously always be there to get any kind of background, historical elements that can help with the position from the former Premier, Ms. Juliana O'Connor-Conley, who was the Minister of Education many times, and also a fellow Kimmer-Bracker. So we could always draw on her experiences for our total position. But speaking about the Honourable former Premier, Juliana O'Connor-Conley, she naturally, because she's the representative of Kimmer-Brack East, she will be shadowing the district admin. Naturally, all the things that have to do with Kimmer-Brack, the Sister Island sports, Sister Island's affordable housing development, all of the things that fall under the current minister, Nicholas DaCosta, she'll be shadowing those, which makes it obviously easier from a location perspective. The Honourable Dwayne Seymour, former minister, is going back to something he's quite familiar with. He will be shadowing for the Department of Environment and Environmental Health. And most of the things that fall under that are things like the National Energy Policy, mosquito research, the Health Regulatory Services, Ponciana Rehabilitation Center, upon which we all know he was the minister to formally open it. And actually, I think he was the former minister who actually started it with the progressive government before the last one. Overseeing what is happening with the boards and committees such as the Health Insurance Commission, Health Practice, Medical and Dental Council, Medical Health Commission, National Energy Policy, Nursing Midwife, the Pharmacy Council, those kinds of things, and Health Appeals Tribunal. So it falls anything to do with health and Department of Environmental Health. Moving now to the Honourable Deputy Speaker and our other member, which we highlighted when I was here last with her. She will be covering all the areas of responsibility that falls under the Honourable Isaac Ranking as Minister. So she'll be Shadow Minister to him, which deals with the social development and sports So his areas of responsibility is social development and innovation, youth, sports, culture, and heritage. But there is one particular area within Mr. Isaac Rankin's area of portfolio that we thought would be conducive for the support from the Honorable Leader of Opposition as well as the Honorable Roy Tatum due to their involvement in the previous administration, which has to do with the National ID program. As you remember, the PPM was the one that started this initiative. Mr. Tatum was a key component with the PPM administration in the development of it, and it's a special area he wanted to give much focus to. So outside of that one particular area that falls under Mr. Rankin, everything else will fall under the Honorable Deputy Speaker, Ms. Perlina McGaw-Lumsden. And just to make sure that I can specify what area that is, let me see. So it has to do with cybersecurity and computer services department. Those are the areas that will be dealing with the National ID program.
Okay, yeah.
Everything else, gender affairs, Department of Financial Assistance, and actually the other area that will be shared with the Honorable Roy Tatum is the Department of E-Government. So all of the electronics and platform-based stuff for government, he will be focused on that while she deals with the social development, sports, and so forth.
Okay, with that, we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, when we return, the conversation with Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Kenneth Bryan, and Member of Parliament, Mr. Roy Tatum, will continue. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
When a hurricane hits, unexpected costs can add up fast. Homeowners are usually out of pocket for these costs to get supplies or make minor repairs. But with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks after a Category 3 or stronger storm, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco Homeowners Insurance. Call 949-8101 or visit Cineco.ky for a quote. That's Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Hey, Bobo, Tiri, cousin, everybody. I hear Cayman Airways celebrating their 57th anniversary by giving us the gifts, about 10 of them. Because they got airfares on sale now for flights to every place they fly to next month through December. Look here, I go and book my flights now to go Galawantan this month with Cayman Airways. I'll see you directly.
Catch your seat on sale by August 11th. Other conditions apply. Book on CaymanAirways.com, our new mobile app, or call us on 949-2311. Cayman Airways, celebrating 57 years as your award-winning, uniquely Caymanian airline.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. And before I throw the mic back over to our guests, and you heard the commercial there just now, Cayman Airways, of course, we're going to give them a big birthday shout out today, also Wednesday, the 6th of August. Of course, on tomorrow, the 7th of August, is the actual anniversary for Cayman Airways when they will be celebrating 57 years as the national airlines of the Cayman Islands. So we're going to wish them a happy birthday in advance, and I'm sure on the buzz tomorrow morning, they will get their birthday shout out, as well. Cayman Airways still alive and operating, the lifeline of the Cayman Islands.
Amen.
And survived so many threats for Cayman Airways to be sold, not to have a national airline. In the days when, $5 million or whatever was needed to subsidize Cayman Airways, people made a big deal of it. Now $5 million is a drop in the bucket, at the end of the day. But no one ever looks, I shouldn't say no one ever looked, but many people ignored the enormous benefits derived from Cayman Airways, not only physically, but mentally as well. When you get to an airline, into a terminal, and you know that your national airline is there, that you're not going to some other airline that may or may not leave, may not continue servicing the Cayman Islands, depending on the financial viability of it. So we have stuck with Cayman Airways all these years, and don't ever forget what they did in Hurricane Ivan as well. Gentlemen, sorry to switch the conversation.
It's important
but
because the other thing we mustn't forget is that I remember some years ago we had a number of U.S. airlines staff going on strike, and then service was curtailed severely to the Cayman Islands, and luckily we had or have our own national airline, because there were some Caribbean islands, small Caribbean islands, who were left stranded and had to pay usury fees to certain airlines to fly in. So, yeah.
Oh, by the way, if I may, sorry, one of our listeners, I believe they may have written in wanting to know the final results of the agreement with Barbados when we provided, air service to Barbados, and whether or not they had lived up to their financial obligations, with the government of the Cayman Islands.
Well, I would love to be able to answer that question as the Minister of Tourism, but I am no longer, unfortunately, and I can only give the commitment to ask the relevant question to the Minister at the next sitting of the House. I can tell you that up until before I left, they were following through with their payments. And again, I want to confirm to the public that there was not one penny lost. The only thing that was lost, unfortunately, in that process is the opportunity. Because, take a little credit here, we strategically had that agreement done where all the liability of expense would be on the Barbados government. Sad that is no longer, but it's a choice that they made. I want to join you, Mr. Connor, and congratulating and wishing the best wishes to Cayman Airways and their upcoming birthday. Obviously, as former minister and just a Cayman lover of our national airline, we want to say on behalf of the official opposition that we love you, and you being the staff and the management at Cayman Airways. It's them that are the heart and blood of it. It carries our national flag. Because it could be just some old random airline that doesn't run well. Why we're so proud of it is because of the upkeep, the management, the delivery, the service, and everything else, and renowned safety stats that we have. So we're very, very proud of you. All of those who've been there for decades and decades, even the newcomers, remember that you have a responsibility to carry on that brand on behalf of all the people. We love you, and have a wonderful day tomorrow as you celebrate, because we won't be here on the radio. I think that you did say one more thing. I'm going to be a little bit interested. You said that and no longer have the threat of it being sold. Now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I would 100% say that the threat is gone. Progressives isn't there. We've only had one grouping that had any threat of selling Cayman Airways, and that group, our affiliates to that group, is a part of the government of today.
Okay.
And with us speaking about deficits and so forth, I would be on my ever guard and on my tippy toes watching that. Because when governments are in a difficult position, they're bound to make decisions. And the Honorable former Premier Wayne Pandon said it. It says you either one have to figure out how to cut expenses or to raise revenue. And that's the same premise upon which the suggestion to sell Cayman Airways was brought up in the first place the last time in these reports, upon which some of those associated members are affiliated with the current cabinet now, and a very high position as well, I must say, as being deputy premier and a minister in the government. Matter of fact, 3 ministers of the government.
You're referring to the that report that was done?
Yes, that's what I'm referring to. And the report was done by individuals that are strongly associated with the party that makes up 3 members of the cabinet. So when you say there's no fear of it, I can't necessarily agree with you. But I don't want to carry that any further.
Sure,
I would like to believe that will never happen or be allowed to happen. But I can't say to you that I've taken it out of my brain. But moving on, we were going to talk, if we can, move on to these comments. We just finished covering, before we left the break, all the shadow ministry responsibilities for each member of the official opposition. I'll try to repeat that in summary at the closing, just for those who have missed it. If you have, you can always go back. We're on YouTube and play it back to find out every role allocated to each member of the official opposition.
And we'll be doing a press release in any event.
Correct. Yeah. But we also wanted to talk about this unfortunate statement that was made, and I wouldn't say unfortunate, maybe it was deliberate. And I want to get to ask you some of your experience as your former cabinet secretary, because the context of understanding the finances of this country and the positions that we're currently in, the country may need a small class in understanding how we do budgets, how things are approved in cabinet, Section 11.5, Section 12, Section 9.5s, the fact that we have a 2-year budget, our projections, our expenses, and so forth. Because the key word that was used and is always being used is projections, right? The Honorable former Premier Wayne Panton said on your show here last week, which caused a number of articles to come out, that they're running the models, and all the models are coming back an estimate of $60 million deficit. I find it highly irresponsible, in my humble opinion, to just throw out such a statement, being the former premier, and why if it is, and I'm not suggesting it isn't, but if it's that significant, that should be an announcement done by either the Honorable Premier or the Minister of Finance, for you to just throw that out. And it sounds almost a throwaway comment, because he's talking about while we are running the models. Has there been an official assessment to say that there's a $60 million deficit? Yes or no? And the reason for that is, if we are projecting to have a $60 million deficit, how do we get from $26 million projected deficit in March to now, at the end of July, when he made this comment? So you have May, June, July. That's correct? Yeah, March, April, May, June, and July. 4 months. A further $34 million deficit. Now, as much as they may have campaigned and said it was the past government, we haven't been there for 3 months. So what is transpiring to support the position of what the former premier is suggesting, that there's even further deficit? And if it's not a true position of a $60 million deficit, why would you be ever so irresponsible to suggest there's a $60 million deficit? Because it creates anxiety, investor confidence is concerning. People say what's going on in the Cayman Islands, and it can have a ripple effect. I think particularly if you know that there's a high possibility you may not have a $60 million deficit. And that's where I'm going to ask you to opine on how the running of governments normally work, particularly when you come to the end of a budget where ministries may not be able to spend all their monies, and the actual realities of what it is comes back.
Okay.
But we can do that.
We're going to go to our headline news. And when we come back, I'll opine on that as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after headline news.
Covering Little Cayman, Cayman Bride.
Cover me. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The Chamber of Commerce is hosting 3 days of a small business boot camp under the theme Empowering Women Entrepreneurs. It kicks off tonight and continues through Friday with sessions from 5:30 to 7 p.m. every evening at Governor Square. You can register for the free event at caymanchamber.ky. In international news, U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff and Russia's Vladimir Putin have met at the Kremlin as Donald Trump's deadline for Moscow to agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine looms. The talks lasted 3 hours, according to Russian media, after Witkoff landed in Russia early today. The U.S. president has said Russia could face hefty sanctions or see secondary sanctions imposed against all those who trade with it if it doesn't take steps to end the, quote, horrible war with Ukraine. Ukraine's president has warned that Russia would only make serious moves towards peace if it began to run out of money. He welcomed the threat of tougher U.S. sanctions, though, and tariffs on nations buying Russian oil. And the Hamas-run civil defense agency says 20 people have died and dozens have been injured after 4 trucks overturned in central Gaza. Crowds reportedly moved towards the trucks, climbing on top, causing the drivers to lose control on the uneven roads. Meanwhile, a top UN official has warned of catastrophic consequences if Israel expands its military operation in Gaza. It follows reports that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is pushing for a total reoccupation of the territory. Those are your headlines. I'm Carsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us in the studio with me this morning, we have Mr. Roy Tatum, who is a Member of Parliament for the constituency of Red Bay, and the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Kenneth Bryan, and of course, he represents Georgetown Central. They will all tell you, well, we represent everyone, but we have been elected, in that district as well. So Mr. Bryan wanted my opinion in relation to, budgets and my observation, from as a political analyst from the standpoint. First of all, it is important to know that other than the hard figures that have been accumulated based on the available data, projections can go either way. So they are merely projections. Sometimes, and I'm not saying that this is the case now, but sometimes from a governmental standpoint, it may be beneficial to put forward the worst case scenario. And after you put that worst case scenario and that does not materialize at the end of the day, and you end up with less than a worst case scenario, then you get the opportunity to take the credit for it and say, this is what we did to ensure that this did not
That's
happen
exactly
as
my
well.
point. You hit the nail on the head, Mr. Corner.
Superman flies in and saves the day.
Exactly. And I
Yes.
think that's exactly what is happening here in respect to that. And it blows my mind because we hear them associate concerns about the government was the former government, and I must say that this has nothing to do with the other members of the People's Progressive Movement because they were not a part of it. I was a part of the government of independent members. So I take sole responsibility for any criticisms, and they should not be labeled with that. But we made an approval for a cost of living increase for the civil service. After all of their hard work, and very deserving, and have no regrets whatsoever. Matter of fact, I think the civil servants need a further increase because they have not been being paid with the inflationary costs have been increased. So we have no problem making that decision. But they talked about us increasing these costs so heavily. But you will remember, Mr. Corner, that in December of last year is when we made that announcement. And whenever, and you can know this from a cabinet perspective, whenever you come in with a cabinet paper, you have to get legal implications, financial implications, and policy implications. Now, I want the listening audience to think about this for a minute. Do you think that we would have been able to bring a cabinet paper with the governor sitting right there in December with a proposal to increase and give a cost of living to the civil service across the board, and the financial implications, projections were that there was going to be a $26 million deficit and it would have been approved? It would never have been approved. So what happened between December?
Especially if it breached the FFR.
Correct. So what happened between December and March? And what has now happened between March and July? Because I think the Honorable Minister of Finance himself admitted what the problem is in its own right. He said one of the reasons for the delay of the SPS for another 3 months is the acceptance that the projections numbers are not reliable. He said you can't depend on them because they can change in such a short period of time. So I find it very highly irresponsible for the member, being a former premier and responsible for finance as well, to put the country at such unease when truth, in fact, I think he fully well knows that $60 million is not going to be a real position. And that the common practice, sadly, and we had to get a little bit better at this, is that, we always ask for more than what we can spend. And there's going to be a high probability that there's going to be such cost savings where you didn't hire enough people, you couldn't get it spent in time. You know the old saying, if you don't spend it, you lose it.
Lose it, yeah.
And every ministry is going to come back saying, oh, I didn't spend this 10 million or that 5 million, and then the deficit is going to disappear. But they intentionally, I listen and I watch back the video over and over again. The PS, the former Premier, Wayne Panton, the Honorable Minister of Finance, former, but he's now PS. The Minister Ebanks, who was there to talk about Poinciana, said, I'm going to be more responsible to say we had to do some management. And then Wayne, right afterwards, said, well, I'm not going to be so diplomatic about it. And the models are as such. And that's an intended move. And I want the public to understand what they're trying to do, because you rightfully just highlighted it. Paint the worst picture in the world now based on projections which you know are not reliable. You admitted that by your own government already. And the question is, if that is a fact, what transpired in 4 months on your government that caused a $34 million deficit further? So I don't believe it's true. I have all reason to believe that that will not be an actual position. But why would you suggest that? And I think it's political maneuvering. And I think it's important that we highlight something else here, Mr. Corner. When, and you know this being a former cabinet secretary, when you make a budget, you make a budget based on your operational expenses and your capital hopes and dreams based on your policy, right? And then you compare that versus what you project your revenue will be in any one period of time. Now, how do we make our revenue? Tourism, financial services, duties on imports, land transfers, particularly those expensive land transfers on 7 Mile Beach.
Work permit fees.
Work permit fees as well. Thank you. I've almost forgot that one. So you would imagine that when we made the budget for 2024 and 2025, which is the year that we're in now, we did that in 2023. Now, you may recall something very significant happened in December 2023. That's when the Honorable former Premier, Wayne Panton, was ousted from government. The Deputy Premier then became the now Premier, Andre Ebanks. So we approved that budget. And everything that is now in that budget today was there before. School. So the school didn't creep up on anybody. The park didn't creep up on anybody. So what transpired over that period of time until they said enough is enough and they quit? What decisions were made? How was it that NGS 55 and HSA 2 were under budgeted? Those ministers were there when they were under budgeted. Anyway, my point is this. Another component that normally makes things financially look funny is your revenue projections. And I'm going to show you something how silly politics can get. In 2023, you would have made projections for revenues based on developments. What's the name of the condominium there that's right before the 7 Mile Beach? Is it Watermark now, I think it's called? Or Watercolors? There's one of those water ones. Right before you get to Public Beach, it has the bridge over the top.
It used to be where the Great House was, beyond or a little bit past the Great House.
It's a 10-story. The new 10-story one is condos and small hotels.
I haven't been on that road for so long now. It's unbelievable.
My
but
point
it would be to the north of the Great where the Great House was. Yeah.
But my point is this, Mr. Corner. In 2023, projectors, revenue, Ministry of Finance will say what monies we will have available for 2024 and 2025. So obviously you would start to assess developments, sale of condos and so forth. And the projection is that building, that construction site, that project would be completed in this year. Once they get a red card, all those pre-sales for those multi-million-dollar projects, the revenues will start to be collected within this term. I'm going to show you how politics can be very funny. If you delay that revenue to come in and make it come in after January 1st, it ruins all your projections of your revenues for this year. So if I was smart and I want to be political with it and make this government look really bad, I'll say, listen, we're not going to collect that revenue that was already projected to be used to balance out the budget for 2024 and 2025, but we're going to push it off. Even though we're supposed to get it in the third quarter of 2025, we're going to do it in the first quarter of next year. So then this
or
year,
even if you don't collect it, you don't report it that
don't even report it at that time. Yeah. So you see how we can manipulate projections and so forth, and that's why I find it highly irresponsible of a former premier to come on here and says the models that we're running. Even if that is the case, until you're confirmed in what your position is, you do not tell the international community on a radio that we have a further. Now you're saying it's not only was an official report on a preview of 26 million before, which we all had the damages of how bad that looks. Now you're going to just at the whim just cross to say, oh, we're projected to have $60 million deficit. That should be an announcement in the press conference if you want to say it. I find it politically. I find that it's a political move and a very irresponsible one. Now, if the truth is, if there is a really serious $60 million projection on deficit, we have some things to talk about because something went wrong. What could potentially...
So you say projection as opposed to reality. What it really is?
Correct.
The actual?
The actual. So, and not only that, we're going to have to examine what transpired that caused it to get there, because what we failed to realize, and I want to point this last point out, and I'm going to stop here. Andre Ebanks was there, Jay Ebanks was there, Isaac Rankin was there, Kathy Ebanks was there, Heather. Wayne can probably say, the Honorable former Premier Wayne Panton can probably say, I wasn't involved in the 2024-2025 budget because he was ousted in 2023. But you have 4 members of your cabinet right now who were there, who was involved in those budgets and those spends, because after the group of Enough of Enough left, they left in what, October of last year?
Yes, somewhere around.
No, October, November.
But Wayne was still in Parliament. We didn't hear him chiming in with any concerns while he was. I can't remember was he participating in the
No, he
debate.
didn't. He definitely didn't come to the
Budget
first sitting
debate.
for the budget because he unfortunately had an accident and he wasn't there for that. So, but he insisted that he was protesting against it. And sadly, you know what?
But it didn't stop his voice outside of Parliament.
Correct.
And
I have to do this because I think it's so important. And I find it to be a shot at the Honourable former Premier Juliana O'Connor-Conley. And I don't think it was right. I don't think I'm going to allow him to just sit there and do this. But you'll hear where he basically says that it's not the cabinet that caused this. It was actually the leadership, as if to try to get away from the responsibility by all members who were there. But I'll play it for you when you come back from the
Okay,
break.
folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superheroes shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Storms bring wind, rain, and unexpected costs to buy supplies, secure your home, or make minor repairs. Incidental expenses not covered by insurance. Until now, with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks of a Category 3 or stronger hurricane, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco's homeowners insurance. Visit Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping K-Man covered.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Water Authority Cayman would like to advise its customers that its Cayman Brac office will close temporarily from 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. on Wednesday, 6th of August 2025 for a staff event. The office will resume its usual business hours from 2:30 p.m. The authority apologizes for any inconveniences this may cause and appreciates the public's understanding.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Kenneth Bryan, and MP Mr. Roy Tatum. One of our listeners has written and said, good morning, I would like to ask a question. If the Cayman Islands are so broke, will all of the MPs/ministers take a salary cut? Just a question.
Very good question. I'll pose it at the next sitting in the House, which we now understand to be in October.
October now?
No,
Oh,
yeah,
I must have missed that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's
not in September.
No, so that's the latest indication. Officially, the word is not there yet, but we have been told that it will not be in September. So again, a further pushback. But
yeah,
I feel that there's going to be criticisms of anything that we say about the government, particularly because they're still on the very verge of their honeymoon period. So let them say it. We were told in Parliament last time in September, but now we're being told it's going to be in October.
Well, one thing that I'd like to do while we continue this conversation is that irrespective of what is said about deficits and everything else, people can be reassured, number one, that we have the FFR, we have constitutional guardrails that are in place. But in the very short history of the Cayman Islands, because we are a young, country, we can call ourselves, a country, not necessarily a nation, but a country, we have never yet defaulted on our financial obligations. Yes. We have always been able to, what we call it, steady the ship.
Yep.
The good ship came on, and it works out fine at the end of the day. And, history, a track record is a very important thing. That is one of the things that people look at, in terms of investments and things of that nature. They look at your track record, your history, what it is it all about. And we have never defaulted. We have always have, good credit ratings as well. When we put bonds out there on the market, they're always oversubscribed, as well. So, that is the case. We'll ask the callers to hold off, or we'll let them know when we do open up the phone lines.
Which will be very shortly, because I'm about to wrap up this area. But I thought it would be important for us to play a particular part, because I hate when people are being overly political about something that is very important to the country's stability, which is finances. So this is Mr.
And unfortunately, what this means is for us,
this is Mr.
in relation to
Mr. Panton at the last time he was on your show.
Couple of months, it's a multiple of that. We're looking at around 60 million in deficit for 25. So we are struggling to work through that, and the answer is not going to be easy. I mean, we have half a year to either find cost savings or find cost savings and revenue measures to offset some of those costs. And the challenge is it's not just 25. We also have 26 projected to be 44 million in deficit. And this is a result of the leadership that was occurring over right at the end of 23 and across 24. Unfortunately, and the predictions of what would happen were made in 23 when I was premier, and I was pushing to try to avoid this situation. Now we have the reality of all of the bad decisions that had been made, and I'm not, it wasn't a cabinet decision. Yes, collectively they participated, but it was the leadership at the time.
All right, so you notice how he caught himself there by saying it wasn't a cabinet. Oh, it was actually a cabinet. It was actually leadership. So he's trying to put all the blame on the former premier. And I want to make this clear. No premier can make a decision on his own when it comes to cabinet. Every member of cabinet, regardless of premier, deputy premier, or just minister, only have one vote. And you need to have the majority of 5 in order for anything to be approved. Now, if you go back and look at that video, for those who are paying, or who are watching and listening today, if you go to YouTube, you'll notice that as soon as he said that, the Honorable Minister Cathy turned her head and looked right at him, as is to say, where are you going with this? And he said, oh, yeah, well, obviously they're all collectively responsible, but it was the leadership of the day that caused the problem. Now, let me make this clear. The members who were a part of the 2024-2025 government are the current Premier, the current Minister Wilkes, current Minister J.E. Bynes, current Minister Isaac Rankin, and then the other members who were there supporting cast, Honorable Wayne Panton and Honorable Heather Bodden. So whatever decisions he's talking about that was made in 2024 and 2025 were supported by the caucus and the cabinet by its majority. So if he's going to say that the reason why we have a projected, or what he says is the models that they're running right now are projected to be a $60 million deficit, please explain what transpired by whom and which minister throughout the 2024 year and 2025 year. Because you cannot play politics with the people's minds, particularly when you know there's a strong possibility that you're just heightening the numbers right now to people in financial control until the end of the year and come back with a surplus. So, because I'm going to come back again in December of this year or in January of next year to say that $60 million surplus deficit you were talking about, what happened to it? Because you can't jump within a 3-month period now to a further $34 million deficit, and they're playing political games because the average person out there do not understand how government's accounting system works, and I find it highly irresponsible. So I'm going to stop it there. I know my colleague have something to contribute to that.
Sure. My contribution will be short, but I think important to say. I find that comment to be a throwaway comment, so to speak. You're on radio, all of a sudden you pull this out of your hat to say. It is the kind of important news item, important to the country, that you actually have a proper press conference. I don't even know if the cabinet even approved him to
say it.
But let's park that. I don't know if there's going to be a $60 million, $30 million deficit. I have no idea. I remember this in 2021, the preview program projected a $98 million, I think it was, deficit by the end of 2021. Didn't happen. Right? There was a lot of big deal around the beginning, $98 million. No such thing happened. My concern, I'm obviously concerned if there is going to be a deficit. But my other concern, an ongoing concern, I mentioned it some time back, OC, on your show, is there is something wrong within the system. If you're going to go from 27.4 million deficit in March to now talking about $60 million, there's something wrong with these models. It's either not enough information going in at the start. I won't try it again. There's something wrong with a model, and it's important not just for because when you are in cabinet and you are sitting, as was mentioned just now, you're sitting making decisions around, we're going to give seafarers and pensioners an increase because they need it. We're going to give civil servants an increase. We're going to do this program. We're going to do that other program. You're relying on the information that you're getting from probably these same models, right? In terms of the projection of the impact of what's happening or what will happen to the government's finances. So to come on now to talk about what the models are showing, Mr. Panton is doing a disservice, because the same way, if this is accurate, the same way whatever issues these models have may end up biting the country and biting those who were there before, can bite them as well. It needs fixing. If there is something, it needs fixing regardless. The accuracy of it is something that's of a huge concern, must be a huge concern to everyone. So whether or not there's a $6 million deficit, I have no idea. But I in my head, what I do believe is that, and I believe it for some time, there's something wrong with the way we're going about making projections. It continues to be inaccurate. And for what this is saying now, we've moved from 27 million to suppose the $6 million deficit in a few months. What's it going to be 3 months from now? I'll leave it at that, but that needs fixing.
And I think there's some support to that position on the current minister's last statement on their delay of the SPS. And I'm just reading a little comment here. It says, and finally, since the SPS is usually presented to Parliament in a few months before the budget, the financial forecasts contained in the SPS consistently differ in a significant way to the financial forecast contained in the budget. And that was one of the justified reasons for them to delay it, because if they had the SPS when the law said it was supposed to happen, then the chances are the projections would be way off by the time they did the budget. So, like what the Honourable MP has just said, something is wrong with the system. And I think when you recognize that there's something wrong with the system, it's highly irresponsible of you to put a statement out that can create anxiety and concerns internationally of our financial position, particularly a financial jurisdiction such as the Cayman Islands. You need to be more responsible of that, particularly as a former premier. You know better. I know I only have a half an hour left, but I found it interesting that we have not heard anything from the Minister for Trade and Development, which is the Honourable Deputy Premier. The Trump administration.
Finance either.
Yeah, that's true. Or the Minister of Finance. Mm-hmm. The current Trump administration has introduced some tariffs and that came into effect on August the 1st. And I haven't heard anything from the Minister, Deputy Premier, on trade development, because his responsibility in that area. Are those tariffs going to affect us negatively? Are they going to have nil effect? But we should be hearing from the ministry as to what is transpiring. And I would like to ask the minister to publicly say something, because some business owners have no idea what the effects on the country are. You're the Minister for Trade and Development. Those tariffs comes in on the 1st of August, and the country wants to know what's the position for the Cayman Islands.
Okay, with that, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
It's a sizzling summer with Jan Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with Jan Money. Visit www.janmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with Jan Money.
When a hurricane hits, unexpected costs can add up fast. Homeowners are usually out of pocket for these costs to get supplies or make minor repairs. But with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks after a Category 3 or stronger storm, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco Homeowners Insurance. Call 949-8101 or visit Cineco.ky for a quote. That's Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping K-Man covered.
Hey, Bobo, TD, cousin, everybody. I hear Cayman Airways celebrating their 57th anniversary by giving us the gifts, about 10 of them. Because they got airfares on sale now for flights to every place they fly to next month through December. Look here, I gonna book my flights now to go Galawantan this month with Cayman Airways. I'll see you directly.
Catch your seat on sale by August 11th. Other conditions apply. Book on CaymanAirways.com, our new mobile app, or call us on 949-2311. Cayman Airways, celebrating 57 years as your award-winning, uniquely Caymanian airline.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. One of our listeners has written in and said, stop worrying about what MP Patton said, because he is not the person in charge of finance now. It is Mr. Anglin. Raleigh will clear it up for Anna.
Okay. Well, the important point is that, we're not hearing, like I would have respected it coming from the Minister of Finance or the Honourable Premier. because I think they would have added context to it if in fact that's the position. I think that, again, it's another scare tactic, politics. A lot of people think Ween Bandon, the Honorable Ween Bandon, easy, or nice, and I say, don't think he's not a political monster too. He plays innocent, but I'm telling you, I've seen it for myself. He's not as innocent as he looks. With that being said, we'll take some calls.
Okay, we have a caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning to you, Mr. O.C. How you doing today?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
I am well, thanks. And morning to Honorable Brian and to Mr. Tatum.
Morning, big brother. How you doing?
Morning.
I'm good, my bro. I just, I don't even know where to start. I want to set the context for it. First, let me I just heard the Cayman Airways ad, and I've been hearing it recently and seeing it. The masterminds at Cayman Airways, the great Caymanian staff at Cayman Airways, with that new tagline, uniquely Caymanian Airlines. I love it. So keep doing it, Cayman Airways, and happy birthday.
Here.
Okay, I'm gonna set the context by which my questions will come to you, Honorable Brian.
Okay, sir.
And Mr. Tatum. I'm here as a Caymanian, driving in my car, and I'm listening. I default to Radio Cayman, so I try to hear a talk show quite often. And I'm hearing a lot going on, and I'm going, my goodness,
Caller, we want to try to be as economical as we can with the time that we have, please.
And I'll certainly try, and I normally do, but it's context. So let me speed it up then. So I'm here sitting going, what does this mean for me as a Caymanian? I'm trying not to be political. I'm not going
Good question.
I'm not going to mince those that I support this government, the current government that we have. And I have every faith in them that they will sort out whatever needs to be sorted out. I concur with that voice note that just came in. But in the context of, in my respect for both of you, who I highly respect, the two elected there, why do you think it's important to coming off the heels of an election where the people have made their choice to share this kind of details? And I think I broadly understand, but I need to hear it from you all, because for me, as a Cayman, as I just started to say, I'm thinking of all the things, the initiatives that this government has talked about, the whole entire new Caymanian protection reforms, all these kind of things. And I'm more focused on that because, quite frankly, I mean, I'm not paid to say this, but if you wanted some advice, I think part of the reasons why we have the government we have is because the perception, which is key for Caymanians, is that there have been many governments that have not focused on their needs, have not focused on them, have not made them a priority in this country. And I happen to have been one of them, and I'm very happy to have gotten somebody elected, having voted for 25 years without one being elected. So I was voting contrary for a long time. So I'm very happy that the person I voted for this time is in. But my point is that that's the perception of Caymanians. And I was just struggling, going, why is Honorable Kenneth focusing on this? Why is that so critical? I mean, I heard your statements relevant to Mr. Compton a while ago, and that could be personal, but I'm just trying to understand it. Like Mr. Tatum was on last week.
Let's give them an opportunity to answer. We're going to be economic with the time. You stay on the line. Why don't we answer that first?
Thank you so much, caller. I think you were right in. Can I borrow that pen, Mr. Corner, please?
Sure.
I think the caller has a very good point to ask. Okay, Kenneth. They're being political, so why is that important to me? Why are you saying this for? Because it could sound like it being like sour grapes. So how does it help me? And why should I know this information? And the reason for that is because you're saying that there's a new government and you're happy about the government. The government was changed for a number of reasons. And some of those reasons were, the irresponsible behavior of the past government. So it's important for me to highlight the truth of what transpired. So you go, hold on, the same people who are in there now were the same people responsible for what you perceived to have been irresponsible behavior. Now, I played that recording because in that recording, it highlighted where the Honorable former Wayne Pandon tried to excuse himself, saying that I was gone in 2023. and that all of the bad things that happened in 2024 and 2025 came out of his mouth. And then he said, it wasn't done by the cabinet. Then he caught himself and said, oh, actually, it had to be done by the cabinet, but it was bad leadership. We all made the decision together. And you cannot get away from the fact that we approved that budget together, upon which 2 major ministries were under budgeted: health services and NGS 55, which deal with health care for our seniors. And we're at a deficit right now of X amount of millions, which almost equate to both of them. So the Honorable Sabrina Turner, who under-budgeted her budget, the Honorable Andre Ebanks, who was the then Minister of Social Development, now the Premier, under-budgeted that. So when you look at Section 9.5s, when you can pull from the year before, so you're pulling from 2025 to sort out 2024, when 2025 come, what do you think the supplementaries are going to be coming to Parliament in October? And you're going to see it for yourself. So when we talk about why am I saying this to you, is because I can see the politics of where they're being economical with the true position to give the public a perception, and that's dishonesty, in my humble opinion. I have no problem taking responsibility for financial decisions that we made. I'm a man of broad shoulders, I can handle it. But do not be deceitful when you know why we did what we did, when we did it, and the fact is that we're probably not going to have a deficit, and you're painting a picture for political purposes to make it seem like you came in and saved the day, when half of the current cabinet were the ones who were there involved in the decisions. Okay. That's why I'm saying it.
Let's go back to the
If I could
caller.
add one thing quickly.
One second, caller.
Caller, sorry. I just want to highlight that it's not so much that we're on here highlighting this. This was highlighted. We are responding.
Correct. Good point.
And again, from my perspective, it really was a throwaway comment. And I'll leave it at that. But there are other concerns. If you're saying the models are showing that the deficit is going to be increasing, then there's other issues you need to look at. But it's a response to a comment that was made.
Okay, Paula.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and I appreciate, and I suppose I deduced as much. I thought it was important to hear it from your mouth, though, and I appreciate both of you. What I'll say to that is this, and I'll end it here. You have Parliament, though, and you have Parliament where you will be able to, respond in a meaningful way to the government and challenge whatever it is that they have out there. And I just find it amazing, really, when I'm listening to this, going, why is this important at this point in time, though? And I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to utilize the time that you have with the people in many respects, other than respects, to speak to current day issues that really hamper us, and budgets and our deficits are crucial. But you have to bear in mind as well that the government just got there, and I'll say this, and they'll speak for themselves, but they just got there. And maybe what has changed in 3 months is an unveiling, if you will, of those things that they're finding, and that would just be my suggestion.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. We have 2 minutes. The next caller is going to be limited to 2 minutes because we're going to a commercial break at 9:45. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Oh, well, I can wait on the break too, you know. Yeah. Good morning. Yeah,
morning,
sir.
Yeah, I've been listening to Honor from Dam when it came on the show, right? Now, let's talk something sensible for the future of the Cayman Islands instead of the TikTok politics. I was reading an article, right, that we have 2 underground cables servicing the Cayman Islands, right? 2, which is right out to their lifespan. And now this not coming from my little read this morning, you know, this coming from the people that know what they're doing. They told the government, but I just want to do nothing about it, that anyhow one of those cables go down, that we have a blackout in communication with our finances, service, our credit card system and all that the Cayman Islands government could lose anywhere between, for 10 days now, this a 10-day projection, right? Could lose anywhere between £150 million to £200 million, not dollars, you know, That's pounds, right? So tell me something now. Mr. Roy, you've been in the banking business. You, Mr. Mark Tiger, and all them that been in now. Where is we going to get this money now? Because the Cayman Island government got to do something with it. Because remember, it's our business. And now they want to run the cables. It is suggesting, instead of the cables going through Jamaica, we go direct to the United States. So, all the time that I've been singing this music, why don't we get 1% out of all of that money that's being transferred to the Cayman Islands? 1.5%. Then we wouldn't have to be bickering about a little $60 million deficit. We would have $1 billion over the head to spend. But those is the kind of things that we don't talk about. You see? Mm-hmm. We sitting on the come here every day, bickering about the same little pian and running down. I bet if I talk about Ganja this morning, I don't have to make sense. No, I want to talk about that. Talk about that.
Okay.
Talk about something that is the bloodline, is the artery that pumping the blood to the heart of Cayman. Talk something sensible.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. Commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Hey, Bobo, TD, cousin, everybody. I hear Cayman Airways celebrating their 57th anniversary by giving us the gifts, about 10 of them. Because they got airfares on sale now for flights to every place they fly to next month through December. Look here, I go and book my flights now to go Galawantan this month with Cayman Airways. I'll see you there directly.
Catch your seat on sale by August 11th. Other conditions apply. Book on CaymanAirways.com, our new mobile app, or call us on 949-2311. Cayman Airways, celebrating 57 years as your award-winning, uniquely Caymanian airline.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
It's a sizzling summer with J&. Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with J&. Money. Visit www.jnmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with J&. Money.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. 12 minutes to go in the show. We still have a caller on hold, Miss Susan. We have a WhatsApp caller and a landline. Those are going to be the last two callers for the morning. WhatsApp caller first. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. OC.
Hey, morning, Rambo.
Good morning. Yeah, morning, Mr. Tatum, Mr. Brian.
Good morning, big brother.
And how, yeah, bless up. And how, to the nth degree now, right now, this been overstanding in intellectual position. I commented on Facebook with that clip with the previous Premier Wayne Panton. They worded properly. I can be vocal about it. Right? Who could decipher it? Whatever. I heard Mark ever so while ago on the line. I commented on Facebook with that. You understand? That repercussion. And how as an opposition, in the shadow mirror line. I tell you about 3 times since you've been on the air, you must stay down on the opposite side of the line. And the whole corollary of it is generalization and conclusion. Listen, the juxtaposition, yesterday's procedural comfort versus today's demand. You understand? That's a foresight now. And you want to part government in UPM, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was their limit in abdications in subversive fashion. You understand? So like untoward Kenneth, it's structural issues present now. Right? Present now. This government now, this admin is on the days now, getting there or whatever. Right? In the dilemma, there's a mirage, illusions. Right? But hit the punchline, Kenneth, debt is certainly. It's unquestionable. Like I say again, on a waiting, which if it's government fall the rail, pick up in a haul ass, some language, haul ass, right? But like 2021, the last of the Brock McGregor's campaign, in his introduction, he mentioned that deduction, X more percentage. You understand? Or alternative, revenue. Revenue. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said again, I'm not operate like a bifurcating in class. You understand? So, that's pending. Do what I do.
Thank you, big brother. I appreciate that, okay?
Thank you very much, caller. Last caller for the morning. Landline. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Connor and MP Bryan and MP...
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Mr. Roy, I can never remember your last name.
Tatum.
Two Roys to remember. I tuned in just a few minutes ago. I heard something MP Bryan was referring to some ministers that had under budgeted. So I didn't really catch the full scope of the discussion since they've been on. But I want to see this. My take on the old administration and the new administration, and is that the old administration went out and we still don't have the Sexual Harassment Act in force. We still don't have the Residential Tenancies Amendment Act passed and enforced. And Westby got a brand new groundbreaking for a high school, groundbreaking for additional affordable housing. Georgetown got nothing in 4 years. I am a born and bred Georgetowner, and I will always advocate for Georgetown, and I'm not blaming any particular ministry or minister for that happening, but I want to say that nothing happened for Georgetown while other districts got amenities or got budgeted for other things, and Georgetown had nothing. We have there's a park that's up and coming, but that doesn't sustain the social issues that are affecting the Cayman Islands, and the groundbreaking for the high school in Westby, the affordable housing in Westby, where Westby didn't need affordable housing. We have people moving out of Georgetown, seniors that have to move, that are renting because they can't afford housing in Georgetown, and we didn't get anything in Georgetown, and the administration went out. And like I said, we still don't have important social issues, legislation passed and enforced to help our people. And so I hope that will change with this new administration, and I look forward to seeing what's going to happen, whether the opposition does the right thing in making sure these things come to fruition, because they didn't happen in the past administration. Whatever it takes, I would like to see it happen, because everyone knows I'm for the social issues part of it.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Just a quick comment. Caller, thanks very much. I certainly have raised the issue of affordable housing in the studio here. I've raised it on the floor of Parliament. I will continue to raise it in terms of the needs of Georgetown. So if you've missed it, I can assure you that is a cause that I've mentioned here and again in Parliament, and will continue to mention.
Mr. Corner, I want to say first off, thank you to all the callers who called in. I really appreciate that, whether it's in support.
They're going to be a little
or
bit upset because, I'm sure several couldn't get through, but,
Yeah, I apologize.
We only have so much amount of time until we extend, for the record, for the whole day, the entire 8 hours.
But again, we want to thank the callers, regardless of a position, support, contradicting or what have you, but we appreciate the involvement, the participation.
Hugely important.
Hugely important. And I want to just say a special thank you to the last caller. I love you. She's my sister, for those who may not know. She means the world to me. So I love you, sis. And, the Honorable MP just responded in respect to the opposition's position on these social matters, and we will keep on it. Feel free to reach out to us on other matters so we can keep the pressure on. As per the first caller we dealt with, I think he meant well. I can tell in his tone that, he was trying to understand and not pick sides, even though he recognizes that he's in support of this administration. And so are we. We are in support of the administration because when they win, we all win. Yep. So I don't want us to make it seem that, but we are going to do our job of accountability. And he did say some other things like, why don't we just wait till Parliament to respond? Well, the comment that was made that we were responding to was made on the radio. It wasn't made in Parliament.
It made on this show.
It was made on this show, interestingly enough, 1 week ago exact. So we are responding in kind. And so it's not like we started this. And the intention, I try to, and sometimes I do get heated, so it may seem argumentative, but I'm hoping that it could become more informative to understand, and you can see for yourself, because you may be a supporter of this administration, but all politicians play politics. And I want you to see the truth for what it is. Now, you may still be in a position to support this administration. You might support them for other different reasons. But I don't like when people are trying to deceive my people from the truth. And I'm only trying to highlight that. So I thank you for your call. I really appreciate it. As for Mr. McKeever, sorry. Love him to death. Every time he calls, and even when he beats me up, I love Elvis McKeever. Elvis is my boy, man. You will never find another Elvis McKeever nowhere in the world. But he's right to have concerns about the fiber line that is at risk. It's been at risk, and we talked about it in the last administration. There was money in it from the first budget that we put together. There were some restrictions by the then Premier, Wayne Panton, why it didn't go through. The Honorable Christopher Saunders fought really hard. He put money in the budget. Then the money was taken out for some other matters. I know the Honorable J.E. Banks really wants to get that done. He's been trying to focus on it. So I can only ask the question in Parliament, what is the way moving forward? Because he's right. We can be at severe risk if something goes wrong. But there is a backup, but it's just not as strong. But if I know that the financial services works closely with the government to make sure that our risk profile is very, very low, because we cannot afford to have something as severe as that happen without a proper backup. But we do need to put in a line before end of life use comes to date and make sure that we're prepared and ready to prepare for that. But we can get the revenues back off of the industries that use it, telecoms, internet, financial services, and so forth. So good point there. But I know my colleague has some points to close off with, because we only got about 3 minutes left.
Yeah. So just very quickly before I get to those points, I for some reason I was under the impression that there was a question asked in the last Parliament. That's what I was digging through trying to find. But certainly just to help alleviate any concerns that we're not aware of it. It's an issue that has been going on for some time. We've discussed it in our caucus, but even the last, the current leader of the PPM raised it in the last Parliament as well, several times. So the other thing I want to just mention very quickly is I mentioned the last time I was on the show. We're going to be having a domino evening at the Red Bay office. 33 Marina Drive on the 16th of August. I think 6 p.m. is the start time. I'll put something on the social media today on that, and then in the WhatsApp groups. We've secured some tables at last, so we'll looking forward to that evening, and then again an end of summer family fun day on the 31st of August between 3 and 6 p.m. in the park, Eddie Sanchez Park. on Prospect Drive. That is going to be hosted by myself. Honorable Ron McTaggart for Georgetown East is joining me. Crystal Gomez Wilson, our colleague who participated in the last election for Prospect. And I had, I was pleased, I had the local Maranatha SDA church reach out to me asking if they could be involved as well. And I was happy to have them on board. So looking forward to seeing lots of people out that day. We'll be getting the word out over the next 2 or 3 weeks on that as well.
Unfortunately, I will not be there. I'm taking the family on a little small time away, but I would have been there if I was on island. So please come down and support MP Tatum and the rest of the PPM family. OC, it was a pleasure to be on here. Miss Susan, love you loads. And for all those who tuned in today, we appreciate your support. If there's any concerns you have, you can speak to any one of the official opposition members. We're here to fight for you. We love you. For the love of country. Thank you.
And I want to thank you. And people need to understand, if they appreciate the role of an opposition, which is intended to keep the government honest, to keep them accountable, make them accountable, at the end of the day. And yes, you do so in Parliament, but there are other platforms, in which to do that as well. And to bear in mind that the government has equal opportunity or better opportunities than the opposition in terms, of making themselves available and, having that, that public facing position, as well. Yes, we do understand it is holidays now. The government is still working through things, and we know based on discussions that we've had that there's going to be more and more discussions. They will be out there more and more. But you have to be able to appreciate the fact that criticism is going to come, sometimes constructive, sometimes not so constructive, and that is what politics is all about. Don't take it personal. When you start to put it on a personal level, then that changes things considerably. So I want to thank all of those who participated this morning. I welcome you to join Mr. Charles Glidden Chalo at 12:15 for a talk today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these 3 beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Yesterday,
today,
always and forever.